Hola.
Okay, so let me get out my handy dandy highlighter. So the first thing we got to determine is how are we going to do similarity. Okay, and an interesting thing that they gave us was this little symbol here. So it's saying that this angle is the same as this angle. So if I were to take this triangle and boop over here, which I can, okay, I can simply say I'm going to do the smaller one over here. And then I have the like angle here, which is W, and then this is Z, and this is U. So it just fell over to the right, okay? And you can kind of cover this one up.
Can you move to the left, please, Libby?
Oh, sorry. Okay, so let me pull my document camera out here so I have more room. There we go. Okay, so if I cover this one up with a Post-it, so we don't have to, oh, well, I need to put my thing. So ZW is 3x minus 6. This is x plus 6, and we don't know this one, okay? So if I cover this up now, I have two triangles, okay? My document camera focuses. Okay, there we go. So, and this is U right here. All right, so it's asking for WZ, okay? So WZ and UZ. So it wants these two. That's what it's asking me for. So these are the two I'm going for. Now, again, these two angles are the same, okay? And because these share a side, these two angles are the same, okay? So that's important to notate. So our choices so far have been for, we either have angle similarity, side similarity, or side angle side similarity, okay? So we can guess, okay, that we have an angle here and an angle here. So it's kind of like 20 that he did. We don't know the sides for sure without doing the proportions, but because we're missing sides, that would take a lot more work. So we can go by angle, believe it or not. So we're going to do that, okay? So now we say, okay, which sides are the same? Well, we're going to compare WY to ZW, all right? And we're going to compare UY to UW. So I'll get my little boxes out. And I might go over my boxes because there's big stuff here, but that's okay. And I'll do my proportion statement. So I'm going to go big to small, right to left, 32 over x plus 6. And then I have 40 over 3x minus 6. So I did side to side, big to small. Okay, now I got to cross multiply. So I'm going to take 32 times 3x minus 6 equals 40 times x plus 6. And now this is math that I recognize. Now I need to distribute. Okay, so what is 32 times 3? Well, if you can't remember, 2 times 3 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, and the x. And then 32 times negative 6 is going to be negative. 2 times 6 is 12, carry the 1. 3 times 6 is 18, plus 1 is 192. Okay? Now that looks more like manageable, right? Take 40 times the x gives us 40x. 40 times the 6, well, 0 times 6 is 0. 6 times 4 is 24. And again, this side looks more manageable now. Now, we're just going for the math, okay? So, I have my x's over here and x's over here, and I have constants on both sides. So what should I move first? Let me get my chat up so I can see what you guys put. What should I move first? And where should I move it? How? I mean, am I subtracting, dividing, what? I gotta move something because I want my constants on one side and my x's on the other. So how do I do that? Where did I get 32 from? 32 is here, that's this side, and I multiplied it when we cross multiply. Okay.
Easy.
Mm-hmm.
Can I suggest putting variables on the left and constants on the right?
Absolutely. So that means I need to move my 46 over here. Well, it's positive, so I have to do negative. So I'm going to do that. Okay. And if this doesn't mess you guys up, I'm going to do it all at once. So that's gone. Okay. I'm going to add my 192 on the left and add it on the right. So this cancels this out. So now I take my x's, which are here. 6 plus 0 is 6. Oh, 9 minus, sorry. 6 minus 0 is still 6. 9 minus 4 is 5. Got to watch those signs. And now you're adding. 0 plus 2 is 2. 4 plus 9 is 13. Carry the 1. And 1 plus 2 plus 1 is 4. Okay. Now, I need to get rid of the 56 because I want the x by itself because I got to plug the x in to get WZ and UZ. Okay. So how do I get x by itself? Somebody tell me. How do I get x by itself? This is the 32. Yes. I'm going to divide. Very good. And this is too big for me. Hopefully you guys have a multiplication chart. But for me, I have to get out my handy dandy calculator and go 432 divided by 56. And it is not even. Did I do that wrong, Mr. Rivas? Just making sure.
No, that's right.
Okay, so it is not even. It is a 7.71. We usually go 2 decimals over. Okay, so there's the first part. We need this to reference. We're still not done. We now need to plug it in. So we're going to come over here and we need WZ first. And WZ, okay, is this one. And that's 3x minus 6. So then I got to plug in for x, which is 7.71. Okay, minus 6. Okay, it's my phone, huh? Sorry. Okay, so then I got to multiply. And I'm going to take 3 times 7.71 equals 23.13 minus 6. Okay, and I'm going to subtract that by 6. And I'll get WZ equals 17.13. Now, I'm going to say, does that make sense? I'm comparing this side to this side. This side is 40. This is the smaller side, 17.13. So it is smaller than 40, so that's good. I messed up on my math on the last one that Mr. Rivas was doing, and I divided 32 by 16 and put 16 because I was thinking adding. And then I realized, well, that doesn't make any sense because the one side's bigger than the other and it's not supposed to be. So that's how you catch it. Now, the next one they want is UZ. So UZ, okay, now UZ is here. How do they, we don't have UZ. Did I miss something, Mr. Wait, UZ, oh, it's x plus 6.
Yeah.
Wait, how did I, oh, wait. It's here. Oh, I put the wrong, it's x plus 6. Not here. I'm sorry, my bad. This is what we're going for. Huh. Oh well, I'll fix that. Okay, so it's x plus 6. See, when you turn it, you got to make sure you do it the right way. So x, we said, is 7.71. So we're going to fill that in. Plus 6. Okay. So UZ takes 6 plus 7, which is 13, and it's 0.71. Why is that? Because 6 would be 0.00, so you have to line it up correctly. Now, does that make sense? Well, this one's 32, this one's 13.71. That does make sense because this side is bigger than this side, which this side's bigger than this side, and this side, 17.13, is bigger than this side, 13.7. So I did it correctly. And let me highlight, this was WZ, which is this color, and this is UZ, which is this color, and I messed up and made it yellow here. Sorry. So let me fix that and make it this way, and that's not yellow or anything. So who do we get in here? Oh, Martin. Okay. Okay. And any questions on that? And then I'll go back to 17 because somebody asked me for 17.
The one thing I'm struggling right now is the first part, setting it up, and not specifically for this question, but like for all questions on the setting it up and triangles.
Right. So let me do 17 and let's talk about that. Because somebody asked for 17. So 17, they're what we call nested together or put together. So I'm going to redraw them. Okay. And let me use my pencil because if I make a mistake. Okay. So I got the big one. Okay. And then I've got the smaller one. Okay. That's always the best thing first is to draw them separately. So my big one, this is Q, this is P, this is T. Okay. My small one is Q, R, S. So QT is 20, okay, and PT is 16. RS is 12, and this is X, okay? So how am I going to do similarity? Well, here's what your options are. Remember, this is angle similarity, side similarity, or side, angle, side. So you're going to kind of say, well, how does this work? Well, because they're nested together, these two angles are the same, okay? These two sides are the same, and we're assuming that these two sides are the same. So I'm going to go for side, angle, side. And correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Rivas, but I think it's that, okay? So because of that, I'm going to compare QT to QS, and I'm going to compare PT to RS. Now, let me get back to the worksheet really quick. Hold on, because I didn't know what it's, oh, it's asking for ST. Okay. Yeah, and finding out which one it is not very easy, but you have to look at what they gave you. So first of all, they didn't give you any angles. So that's why I kind of, the angle one is, the angle one isn't going to work. It could, because these are parallel. So when lines are parallel, the angles, the base angles are usually same. Plus they share an angle. If you think about it this way, they share this angle. Okay. So they do share an angle. And if they're nested, that usually means that these two angles are the same as well. So it could be angle, but these two lines are parallel. So we know that those are similar. That's why I'm including a side.
Tracy?
Yes.
Side, angle, side. The reason it's not working, if you look at the small triangle, one side is 6.
One side is what? X. Oh, because we don't know that one, we can't do that one.
We cannot use that.
Oh, so we have to do angle?
This one, the only one that can work is angle.
Okay.
Yeah,
oh, never mind.
Side, yeah, it looks very good, but the fact that there's an extra side, it won't work.
Okay, so let's do angle. See, I even struggle with that part of it. I know how to do the math to set up and find X, but to know, that's another whole story. So assuming they're similar based on angle. Now I just have to match up what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do my orange to my green. Okay. So, and I'm making them proportional. So I'll take big to small. So 20 is to X. As big to small, 16 is to 12. Now, they're only asking for ST on this one, correct, Mr. Rivas? I don't have the worksheet in front of me.
Here, let me check. What are you saying, right?
ST, is that what they're asking?
Yeah, ST.
This little part right here is what they're asking for. Okay, wait, how could that, oh, so I'll show you how we find that. Okay, they're asking, let me put that in pink. They're asking for this, okay? So we'll get back to that in a second. So we cross multiply, okay? How do we cross multiply? We take 16 times X. I like to have my X's over here, okay? And 20 times 12. And it can be 12 times 20. It doesn't matter. It's going to end up being the same thing. Okay, I have to multiply these. These look like big numbers, but if you take the 0 away and just say 12 times 2, that's 24, and then add the 0. And then you have 16x. And now you're just going to divide. Okay. Now, I think it was Devin. Does this so far make sense to you? Like once I separated the triangles and stuff, did that help?
I get that part on the bottom. It's just the triangles and
Right.
finding out, yeah, how to put them together.
So did that help separating them?
Kinda.
Okay. All right. So again, it's going to take a little bit of practice. Okay. So we say 16 into 240, and I say again, use your calculator or your multiplication table. That's 15. Okay. Now you might say, okay, I'm done. Well, no, remember they wanted ST. And this is where you have to go back to your original triangle. ST is this little portion here. So ST equals, we have to take the whole thing, 20 minus X to get the smaller part, because it's part plus part equals whole. So ST plus X equals 20, or 20 minus X equals ST. It's the same thing. So then you say to yourself, okay, well, I know X is 15, and 20 minus 15 is 5. Does that make sense? Yes, because it's the smaller portion. And if X is 15 and this is 20, this has to be 5. So that makes perfect sense. Okay. Can I fit that in there? Let me shrink out a little bit so you can see. There you go. And again, it takes a little bit of practice, you guys, so be patient with yourselves. How many problems did we have? Let me look. I have my mouse in the wrong place. We have.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
math part
6
is
problems.
easy. It's just, you know, that first part is just
Yeah.
tricky. But after
Well,
that, once I get it, it's I understand.
Right. So now that we've done 3 examples completely, do you guys want me to just set up
22.
some of the other ones?
Can you only set up 22?
Mr. or Miss, can you set up the word problem?
Okay, and Mr. Rivas, what were you saying?
Yeah, 22. We'll help you, don't worry.
Okay.
All right, so let's do 22. All right, and I'm gonna save some paper and go over here because I had some room. So let me do this. Okay, so 22, statues. Okay, so May is standing next to a statue in the park. Okay, so we have May. Let's put this as 22. We have May. Don't make fun of her. She's standing next to a statue. I don't know how to make a statue, but we'll make a statue in the park. This is the statue. And this is May. Okay, got it?
Mm-hmm.
So if May is 5 feet tall, okay, she's 5 feet tall, all right. Her shadow is 3 feet long, so I'm going to put her shadow over here, and this is, so we have a triangle, 3 feet, okay. And the statue's shadow, oh, it's not giving us the statue height. The statue's shadow is 10.5, 10.5 feet long. They want to know how tall X is the statue. This is the question mark we have. So it's kind of like a triangle, right? Okay. So we're going to assume that because of, on this one, do they have to identify similarity or they just do the math?
No, they use the math.
Okay, so in this one, don't worry about angle, angle, side, because it's not a triangle. I mean, it can be if you draw this, but don't worry about that. Okay, so how would we do this? Well, okay, we have the 5 feet is to X as the 3 feet shadow. Shadows are on the ground, right? Or sometimes walls, but we're assuming ground, to the 10.5 feet. Okay, so I'm just going to set this one up, and then you guys can do the math. So I'm going to do green, and it doesn't matter which one you put first. I just that happened to be the highlighter in my hand. So pink, okay? So my green similarities are what? What are my green ones? Somebody tell me my green.
The shadows.
The shadow, right. So I can take 3 feet, small, to big, 10.5. Now, the important reason I put feet here is because their question was, how tall is the statue? So when you answer, you're going to have to answer the statue, and I'm going to put, well, let me finish this and I'll talk about that. So now the pink is height. Well, here I went small to big, so I have to stay consistent. Small, 5 feet, to big is X, okay? Now, what am I supposed to do next? What am I supposed to do next? Somebody tell me. How do I set it up? I mean, I set this part up. That's right. So I'm going to take 3 times X equals 5 times 10.5. Now, when I get X, it actually is the statue height. So once I solve for that, I am done, sort of. It's a word problem. So that means you have to answer using words. So I'm going to give you a little hint. It says, what is the height of the statue, right? The height of the statue is, and I'm going to put a blank here, feet. This is important. Feet. You have to have feet. So you're going to fill in the blank with the X after you solve the math. Now I'm not going to do the rest because I got you to this point. Okay, let me separate these problems. You do the rest. Okay, you should be able to now do the math. The X, you know, is the height of the statue, so all you have to do is fill it into your sentence frame. Does that kind of help?
Yeah, it helped a lot.
Okay, good. I think everybody got that.
Well,
So we have 19, and that's a really good question for the person that asked me. So we have 2 triangles. We have J, H, K, all right? And I'm just going to set up the information we know, okay? So talk about the similarities first. I'm not going to put in any numbers to get us confused. Okay, so they told us that this angle is the same as this angle, and that this angle is the same as this angle. And remember, you only have 3 choices of similarity right now. There's more, but we haven't taught you guys those yet. Okay, we'll get there. All right, so just based on what they've given us, no sides whatsoever. Okay, we for sure have angle, angle. Now, the sides that don't have, okay, like this is 20, don't have variables, and this is 12, and this is 8. When we start plugging in, okay, and I'll highlight so you guys can see which ones match up. We have to look for side, 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 or sine, angle, side to work. We have to have at least 2 sides, if not all 3, without variables. So the question is, 1, do we have 3 sides without variables? Well, no. So side, angle, side's out because these 2 have variables. But, well, and that just answers your next question. Do we have 2 sides without variables? Well, yes, here, because all 3 were fine, but you're comparing to here as well. So you have to have, for side, 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 you have to have all 3 without variables. This fits the bill, but this doesn't because there's an X here and an X here. So that one's out. Side, angle, side, we have the angle and the side, and that one works here too, but you have variable here and variable here. So that one's out. So your only choice is angle, angle. And when I match up what goes to what, so this QN is to JH, okay, as PN is to HK, as JK is to PQ, okay? So this one's upside down and rotated or flipped, so to speak, but we don't have any sides that don't have, what we have, I'm sorry, we only have 1 side that doesn't have a variable. That's not enough in our choices. Now later, we will have what's called angle, side, angle, but even here, we don't know that this angle is the same. We can assume, because typically if this one's congruent to this one and this one's congruent to this one, then this has to be, but we're not going there yet. So does that help for what the person was asking about angle, angle, side, side, and side, angle, side?
Yeah, just remember, if it has a variable, you cannot use them.
Right.
It has to be a known value. It cannot be changed.
So that's the biggest thing. If there's a variable involved, can't do it. Now, say there wasn't a variable in this one, and there's not in this one, then side, angle, side might work. But see, this angle is not in there, and they didn't mark it. So we can't technically, legitimately say yes. We have to go by what for sure they give us factually. Does that make sense? We can assume that that angle is going to be involved in the same, but because they didn't mark it, we can't do that yet. Any other questions? Does that help you figure out for 21? Because that's the last one you have to figure out side, angle, side, or angle, angle, or side, side, side.
21 is weird because the angles are not facing the same way.
Right.
That's what makes
So you want to draw those 2 separately. So let me do that for you guys real quick. Just so you can see it. Yeah.
Do we do math for 19 and 21?
Yes, I just didn't set it up that far. People were asking, how do I determine this first? But yes, you would do math. And it's asking you for 19, it's asking you for H, J, and HK. So the unknowns that we're looking for are HJ, this one, and HK, which is this one. Now those aren't matching up. Those are the ones we're missing, okay? So that's why I'm highlighting them that way. So what do I know? Well, I know that yellow can go to yellow, okay? Because I have that information. And I can do either one. I can do green to green or orange to orange. It doesn't matter. I'm going to do, say again?
It doesn't matter?
No, because I have all of them. In the previous triangles, we weren't given all sides necessarily. Like look at 21, we don't know DJ. So I couldn't use that one. I don't have any information. But here I have green is 6x minus 2 as is to 8. So those are similar, we were assuming based on angle, angle. hj, 4x plus 7 is similar to 12. So you can do it either way. You could do it to yellow to green. I have to pick, well, I don't have to, but it's smart to pick one that has both information. Does that make sense? Because if you have too many X's, it's harder. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because if you do that, you're gonna have variable on both sides.
Right.
You
We're
know,
here.
there's variable in only one side.
Right. So you can do this. Now, if you do the other one, you're still going to end up with the same answer for X. So if you end up doing, and you could do orange to green, but I don't recommend it. And I'll put a big or here so you see it. This is the great thing about math. There's always more than one way to do it. Or, don't do both, okay? So if I do 25 to 20, okay, I did big to small. I want to do big. 4x plus 7 is to 12. Either way, X will turn out the same.
Same answer.
Okay. Does that make sense? And then you have to plug X back in to find the pinks.
Understood. I understand that. Okay.
Okay. So now let me set up 21 so you guys can see 21 and draw those out for you. So, and you don't have to draw it the way it is on the paper, okay? He just wants you to draw it out. So you have this triangle, which I know it's at an angle, but whatever. Okay, so I have 7, this is H, this is G, 2x minus 2, this is D, and this is bigger. Now why, oh, I can't put that one. I just figured it out. It's a small triangle in a big triangle. So don't put that one. I just saw it. Sorry. All right, now we have to.
You also
This,
the 2x plus 4 phrasing.
oh yeah,
Side is 2x plus 4.
that's right. Okay, so now I have to draw the big one, and it's laying on its, if this were the face, it's laying on its face. So what do I mean by that? It's, okay, so let me just draw a small version of it. You've got this triangle going on, okay? You've got this triangle is similar to this triangle, but they're in two different orientations, okay? So what I mean by that is this side, this bold side, okay, is the same as this bold side. So now I have to draw it that way. Does that make sense? So I want to draw another one that's bigger, which I didn't leave myself a lot of room. Don't make fun of my drawing. I didn't use the thing. I know. Put my ruler away. I need to get it out. Okay. So big triangle, right? But I have to mark it correctly. So this is H, and this, see, same, okay? This is 10, and wait, am I doing that right? Yeah, and this is 7. See that? Okay, and this is G and J, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now, again, my similarity statements, I either have angle, angle, similarity, side angle, side, 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 similarity, or side angle, side. Okay, so now, 7 and 7, okay, well this 7 is not the same as this 7. Oh wait, I didn't put my G, because they're different sides. This is my hypotenuse or my long side, which I don't know. Okay, I only know part of it, which is 2x minus 2, because of this. So this is not the same as this. Does that make sense? So I'm going to highlight the sides that are the same. So you have HD is to JH. You have GH is to GD. And then you have GH is to GJ. Okay? So now, what do they want us to find after we figure out our similarities? They want GD
GD and DH.
and DH. So GD is here, and and HD is here. So it's always the ones that have the X's, typically. So those are the ones I have to find. So what do I have in common? What did they tell us? Do we have any sides that work? Well, there's a variable here to a constant here. That won't work. There's a variable here to a constant here. That won't work. There's a 7 here to who knows what this is here. So none of the side ones are going to work because we don't have any that work. So what does that leave? Angle, angle, which is what they told us. So then you set up, and again, here where Devin before I had 3 choices, here I don't, because they don't give me this side. So I'm limited to going orange sides to green sides, which makes it easier on me. I don't have to decide. But then I'm going to go small to big in this case. So 2x minus 7 over 7. Oh, 2. Sorry, 2x minus 2. Brain not working. Small to big, 2x plus 4 over 10. Okay? So then, of course, what do I do next? You guys should know this by now. Okay? I'm going to cross multiply. And I'll set that up, and then you guys have to do the math. To give myself, well, you guys hopefully will have more room. So I'll go 10 times 2x minus 2 equals 7 times 2x plus 4. And then you guys do the rest. Now, once you find x, remember, you have to solve for GD, which is 2x minus 2. So you got to fill in. Okay, so this is, you're going to solve for x here, whatever that may be. You're going to take this and you're going to plug it in to here for that one. Now remember, you still have to also solve for DH, and DH is 2x plus 4. You're going to plug it in also right here and solve that one as well. Okay, so
Yeah, doing the problem without making without redrawing the triangles is almost impossible.
yeah,
Because they're not arranged the same way. They're way facing different ways. So like
yeah.
it is making the drawing over again.
So hopefully that kind of helps you guys see it. I know you know how to do the math, so I'm not too worried about that. It's just setting it up. And so hopefully setting it up now gets you guys on the next step. And I don't think any of them, any of our similarities today, they were all angle, angle, angle.
Yeah,
So,
they look like side angle side.
right.
The fact that it's not variable on the side, it didn't help.
Yeah.
You have to set up for angle.
Yeah. So. Okay. Okay. So the person asked me for 19. Did I go slow enough? I'm sorry. I just saw your note. Do you want me to go back to 19? This is 19. Remember, you can choose. You can do this side is to this side, and this side is to this side. And again, you'd cross multiply. So you'd have 6x minus 2 times 20 equals 8 times 25. And you'd have to distribute, kind of backwards, I did it that way. Or you can do 20 times 4x plus 7, cross multiply, equals 25 times 12. Okay? And then it's just the math from there. And again, don't forget, you have to plug in x. So hj is 4x plus 7. So once you find x, you got to plug it in here to get it. And then you have to do hk, which is 6x minus 2, and you're plugging in x here. Okay, and then let me separate that out. Okay? Perfect. Thank you for the feedback. Now you guys should easily be able to get these done now because we've set them all up for you at least, if not did the whole problem. So that should make it easy peasy to get these done today, get them turned in by tomorrow, and then you guys don't have any homework for Thanksgiving if you got Monday's assignment done.
Remember, if you miss any assignments, you can do them over the break and turn them in. But I'm only taking from November on. So if you have any of the old assignments from November, you can still do them, turn them in, and give me the points, okay?
Any questions about that, you guys? We only got 6 minutes, so.
Did we already do 20?
Didn't I do 20? Yeah, he did 20 first.
Oh yeah, that's the one that I did.
Yeah, that's the one he did first. He solved for x and then plugged it in. I did the wrong side, so I had to redo it. I also did the wrong math initially, so you'll see my little whiteouts, but yeah, he did.
Remember, I put the video and I put what I did in Google Classroom.
Yeah. So this is 20. So we literally, like I said, have set up or done all of them. So 20 was done in the video. 22 was set up. You just have to finish the math and fill in the sentence structure. Okay. 17 was done. Okay, here's 17. We may have not done 17 in the video, but you took a screenshot, I think, or 18, one of them. And then 18 was done. Okay. And then we set up 16. You just have to finish the math because the answer of x is the answer. So you just have to fill in the math. And then 19, we set it up. You have to do the math and finish. And then same with 21, you have to finish. Okay, and that's it. You guys are good to go. So if you didn't get 20, here you go, Devin. It's right here again, if that helps. Sorry, I'm moving around like crazy. For number 19, what will the equation turn into? Let me check. Oh, here I didn't say my funny statement because I thought you weren't here today. Okay, number 19, let me see. Well, which one? It depends which ones you chose. Okay, let me see. Yes, that is correct. For the person asking me about number 19, that is correct. If you're doing yellow to green, which I'm assuming you are. And I hope you're feeling better. Any other questions? You guys got 3 minutes. Now's the time to ask. You're welcome, sweetie. Oh, good. I'm glad. The person I said, I hope you're feeling better, that's a good idea. Drinking lots of tea is a very good idea. And again, you guys can email us. I'll be honest, next week, I don't know how much I'm going to check my email, but I will try and at least check it occasionally.
Yeah, you can email us and send us a picture of your work.
Yeah.
And we can suggest where you made the mistake or if it's correct.
And again, if you guys can get it all done today and get it submitted, then you're good to go if you're caught up with everything else. I would encourage you to get it done and use this weekend to get caught up on everything else so you can officially have the rest of the week to relax. And I'm hoping the rest of your teachers didn't assign a bunch of work. I know my daughter has a test and an essay next week, but that's because she's taking a dual enrollment class and the college isn't out till Wednesday. So she has a quiz she has to take on Tuesday. She's like not happy. But
When we come back, it's what, 2 weeks and then the final?
3 weeks. Well, yeah, 2 weeks and then the final. We have total 3 weeks left of the semester after we come back from Thanksgiving break. And that is the end of the semester, you guys. I want to emphasize that again. When we finish on the 18th, we are done. So you will truly get a nice Christmas break because there's no classes. Everything finalizes and finishes.
Yes, and when we come back, it's a brand new start. You start from
Yeah, which will be really nice. So make sure you guys use Thanksgiving week if you're truly behind in any of your classes to use that time to get caught up. Okay. And again, with Mr. Rivas, just do November unless you email him something separate and make separate arrangements. You can always try. I always tell my students, try me. You never know.
Yes, we have our rules, but you know what? Life happens and we cannot control what happens. But
That's right.
if you email me and say, you know what, Mr. Rivas, I was dealing with this issue, whatever the case might be, I might reconsider.
Right. So just keep us posted because there's extenuating circumstances.
Yeah,
and we understand that.
And we just do the best we can. So just let me know, and I might consider letting you take turning that work.
And in that case, contact Mr. Rivas directly because he's the one that makes the call on that. All right, so you guys, it's 12:45. Please go have a nice, a lunch. Get some water. Make sure you guys are sustaining yourselves, and then you have fourth period, and then tomorrow, and then you're done for a week. So have a wonderful Thanksgiving, everybody.
Bye, everybody.